Alright, tier list time. Somebody else actually made a tier list of the regular archetypes for me on Tier List Maker, so thank you for that. We're gonna go and get right into it. So, Phantom Knight, I'm actually putting in B. I don't think this deck is as good as everybody says it is. I'm almost tempted to put it in Rogue. I haven't seen it at all on the ladder. Um, yeah. Branded, probably the best deck of the format. I think S tier might be a little bit too kind to it. It's more like A plus. But even with the Bysteel hit, it's still really, really strong. Um, Next we have Runic. I'm actually gonna put Runic under Rogue at this point. Uh, Runic Sun lost most of its floodgates. I played against it a couple of times on the ladder. It just didn't have the goods to get there. Super Every Samurai, I'm actually going to put an A. This deck is great. There are some easy counters to it. If you droll your opponent, they'll have a bad time. But besides that, I feel like the deck is pretty good, pretty consistent. Next, I'm going to put Vanquish in the top of B. I like this deck. I like to play this deck on the ladder. Been a little bit of struggle bus with it. Exo Sister, I'm putting under Rogue just because you really don't see it very often. I do feel like it's actually better than Runic in this format. Cash, I'm going to put on B. It's taken a lot of hits, but it's still decently. Um, it's still decent. Like the deck is still a decent anti-meta deck. Labyrinth also be under Phantom Knight. They lost two of their furniture pieces. They lost some more floodgates. The deck is hurting a little bit. Minkonko, I'm gonna put under Rogue just because you don't see this deck a lot, and it is definitely decent. It can beat the things above it. I just don't see it very often. Sky Striker, I'm gonna put him bad. This deck is bad. I played against one in Diamond. I don't know how that person made it to Diamond. The deck is bad. Mana Diem, probably at the top of B. Naturia, bad. Not good. Um, right. I should put Sprite under Rogue. It's not very good right now. You still can run it, and it still can do things. I do feel like the decks above it are a little better. I'm actually gonna put Sword Soul in Rogue. It would be in B if it had more representation, but you really don't see it very often. So it's more roguish. I do feel like the deck is very solid though. Like if I was ranking it on just the deck, not representation, I'd probably put it somewhere in the B tier, low B tier. Stun is still a thing. They've lost most of their cards. It's still running around. I still see enough representation. It can be in it can be in B. Tier elements. I'll put tier there. Gold Pride Punk. If you saw it more, I would probably put it in like high B or low A, but it's not represented a lot, so it's more in Rogue right now. But I do feel like Gold Pride is actually a very decent deck. Dragon Link. Dragon Link's kind of bad now. I mean, it still can be played with the Dragon Rulers and stuff. It's just probably not probably not the best deck to play. I don't even see it on the ladder this season, like at all. Morphia is getting some things and then getting some more things. The deck's actually been I've been seeing a lot of representation for. I'm gonna put it in B. Hurley, this deck is bad now. I don't ever see it anymore. Blunder's Rogue. Math Mech A tier. yeah, and that's the tier list. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.